We got to see episode 2, which was amazing, and the things that were presented were awesome. We can't wait to see episode 3 so we can continue to see this amazing story. Even though only 2 episodes have been presented, we have had a lot of information and explanation of things that fans had questions about. So hopefully as the episodes continue we will understand more and more. But for now we can imagine what will happen in the next episode. That's why today I'm going to talk about preview of episode 3 of the 2nd season of Alchemy of Souls. But first remember to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you'll be among the first to see our content. I'm going to address this main character as Naksu since in the 2nd episode Master Lee clearly explained that the soul that inhabits that body is Naksu's and not Buyon's. Naksu just has some Buyon energy that makes her manifest the powers of a priestess. But if you want to know more about it, watch the video explaining episode 2. We know that in the last few minutes of episode 2 we could see the closeness of Jae-wook and Naksu. Naksu looked for Jae-wook for the purpose that he can get her out of the room that she was locked up in, and Jae-wook also looked for her because she can help him to get the ice stone out of her. So at this point it is clear that the two sought each other out for convenience. Jae-wook wanted to know if she really had priestess powers and told her that she was powerful enough to turn off that lantern. She tried but couldn't, and he felt tricked. Then a strange creature showed up at Jae-wook's house, and Naksu realized that the creature had a bad energy and a peculiar smell. Then when Naksu came back she realized that creature was in the water and gave him her bracelet to use that energy and leave. Then we see how that thing grabs Naksu and throws her into the water, but then Jae-wook rescues her. At that point Jae-wook takes care of her, and after she recovers and decides to leave, because she knows that he doesn't want her to be there because she doesn't have divine powers. Naksu arrives home and her mother gets very angry, and she accepts that even though she wants to leave she has to continue to stay by her side so that her mom won't suffer. Hwanhon introduces Buyon to the whole assembly and says that this is the last time they will see her because she will be locked up afterwards. Then Jae-wook appears and tells everyone that she is his wife because days before he had a drink of alcohol with her, that the engagement is considered to be achieved. Jae-wook realized that the lantern went out and that it was done by Naksu, so he knows that she has divine powers. To confirm that before they left, Naksu touched the lantern again and turned it off, evidencing her powers once more. The episode ends with him hugging her and her looking at him. Here we can see how she is falling in love with him, however, he is not feeling the same. He only did that because he needs her divine power. Now, in the new previews we can see that he is facing everyone just to have Naksu by his side, and we also see Dangu's face. This could mean that Dangu will have a strong confrontation with Jae-wook, because he can't let him take Naksu away because that could anger his ex-fiancée Choyeon even more. But there is a very curious part, and that is when Naksu is with Jae-wook she flirtatiously approaches him and says, "I was expecting this," and you can see Jae-wook very nervous. It is very likely that she thinks he is in love with her and thus wants to have their wedding night. However, we still don't see Jae-wook in love. We know that he did all that because he needs to use her powers. We also see Jin-moo very anxious to know what is going on. He knows that the face of Hwyon's supposed daughter is Naksu's face and not Buyon's, and he is going to find out everything. But he is not the only one who realized, but also Soe realized that she is not Buyon since Soe did know Buyon, and she is very sure that it is not her. We also see Naksu free walking with Yul, so it could be that since she's with Jae-wook and not locked up, he told her to go for a walk. The walk she is taking with Yul, and it looks like they are having a great time. The problem with this is that Yul had noticed that the face of the one they call Buyon was familiar, so it's very likely that he starts to have an attraction to her. But another person who might be attracted to Naksu is Prince Go-won. Naksu sees that they are cooking a chicken and says to Go-won, "Eunuch, do you have any money?" And of course he is surprised because she called him that way and also because she means that she doesn't know that he is the prince. You see some connection as there was with him and Mudok in the first season. So this is another guy who could fall in love with her. But one of the most disturbing images is that Jin-moo was seen with a small jar and said, "I shall summon Naksu's soul once again to distract Jang Uk." And then we saw the images of Jae-wook in the forest with a surprised face holding the jade. This means that Jin-moo has a plan, and most likely he had the other jade and by some means he gave it to Naksu so that she could get to the forest to meet him, and he would think that she is Naksu, the one who died in the lake 3 years ago. But it could also be that the jar has the ashes of Naksu's body. Let's remember that in Season 1 Jin-moo had the body burned and it is very likely that he will use the ashes to do some kind of ritual that can disturb Naksu again like he did in Season 1. The sad thing about this is that Jang-wook with this sign is going to find out that she is Naksu, but at the same time she can be directed by Jin-moo and hurt him again like she did in the past. We are already noticing that the drama is getting more tense with each episode, and since there are only 10 episodes, the production has to explain everything as soon as possible because they don't have much time. So this episode number 3 promises to be very tense and impressive, and we will see Jin-moo's plan in action. What may be different is that since Jang-wook now has the ice stone, it is likely that this time he will realize that if Naksu does something wrong it is because of Jin-moo, and this time he will stop him once and for all. But we will also see in the next chapters a jealous Jang-wook realizing that Prince Go-won and Yeol are after Naksu, as it happened in the past. But the most important thing is that in every episode we learn more and more of things that we didn't know and had a lot of doubts about. For example, in episode 2 we confirm, according to Master Lee's explanation, that the one inhabiting Naksu's body is Naksu and not Buyeon. Only she has the powers of a priestess because she connects Buyeon's blood in her body and there is some energy from her, but her soul is completely Naksu's. We are all looking forward to episode 3 because we also want to see Hoyeon's reaction after what Jang-wook did. And we will also see how Choyeon and Dangu's relationship, which we know is not very good, will continue. What do you think will happen in episode 3? Leave your comment here so we can read it. If you like this video, please subscribe. We will be uploading videos every day of this series.